afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Awake with O.O.K Farms. As you already know, my name is Omolara Svensson, and with me today is our boss, the man in charge, the
I
station
don't,
manager.
I don't know if I should take that as a compliment because my boss is calling me a boss. So I'm good. I'm
You know,
excited to be
when
here.
it comes to the station, I'm just a guest when I have Awake to present.
Okay, that's true. So Charles Alade is my name, and I'm excited to be here today. Welcome to Awake with O.O.K on Awake O.O.K Farms Television. This one is going to be exciting because we
Mhm.
have a very, very interesting topic that I believe is of interest to everyone who is playing in the agricultural sector. Everybody wants to interface with the international community. If you're selling something, you're buying something, everybody wants to deal in either importation or exportation. So today we're going to be looking at the risk involved in exporting a commodity, particularly agricultural commodity. And it's going to be very, very interesting. Not just interesting, very educative also, because you're going to be learning quite a number of things that I believe are very useful for you if you're going to deal with exportation.
Right. I like talking about export because that's where the story of O.O.K started from.
Amazing.
Secondly, because who doesn't like to earn foreign currency now?
Yeah. Dollar something, pound something.
Yes, and because everyone keeps saying, Omolara, you talk about export a lot, you don't talk about the risk that is involved in it.
That's true.
Because the truth is, we want youth and everyone to come into agriculture. We also have to talk about the downsides, the challenges that we're facing. Because
So you
it's
don't
not
think it's all rosy?
rosy. Yeah, it's not like a lot of people have been misinformed and thinks that, oh, just put money in agriculture and boom, you are
Making money,
billions.
accounting
What is
dollar.
that guy's name now? That Twitter guy, that guy that bought it.
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. Yeah, it doesn't just work so smoothly like that. So today, as Charles had said, we're going to be looking at the risk that is involved in commodity export out of Nigeria.
Amazing. So you need to sit back, relax, go tell a friend to tell another friend. You might just need to share this. Perhaps you're watching live on YouTube or you're watching from website www.okfarmstv.com.ng. Wherever you're watching from, please, you need to you call somebody right now so that they can maximize this time and the information we're going to be sharing on this show today.
And should you be at work and you're not allowed to watch, or you can always play this back on our YouTube channel. O.O. I love the way my British friends calls OK. Double OK, are you available for a chat? I said, okay. So on Double OK Farms on YouTube, you can always play back and listen and watch at your convenience.
Yeah.
So without taking much of your time, what is commodity export? I'm sure we all know what commodity export is, but we're talking about farm produce commodities. In the past, people ask me, "Oh, what sort of commodity are you talking about?" I'd be farmer. Any commodity you hear us talk about here is farm produce.
Yeah.
Strictly farm produce. So commodity export is when you, as a Nigerian, either you farm or you aggregate. We'll be talking about aggregation on as time goes on, or you aggregate farm produce and process it, pack it for purpose of selling it in the abroad. That's just what commodity export is all about. Now, commodity export, like any other sort of export in trading, requires a lot of paperwork.
Yeah, documentation is key.
Documentation is the first thing. I mean, before we go to documentation, I think the first thing you need to know is the requirements that your client needs, the specification.
Specification.
For instance, even I was telling someone this that even charcoal has specification.
Like charcoal that you would have thought that, I mean, let's just pack it in the sack and
It has specification.
okay, tell me.
We have no sparkle.
Okay.
We have the one that is for barbecue, and then we have the one that can be used for shisha. We have the ani, and we have the sizes as well.
Tell me.
We have at least 4 different specifications in charcoal. So you just cannot say they want charcoal and then you pack charcoal and put in the container. No, it doesn't work like that. So if charcoal can have specification, specifications. Then imagine soybean, imagine corn, imagine
Other
cassava. So the
consumables.
first thing first you need to do is to get your specification right.
Mm.
Because if you export and your specification is not right, believe me, you're going to wish you did not start commodity export.
Mm.
Because not only are you not going to get paid by your client, you may even have to face to pay charges. That's
Wow.
happened to us in the past.
Wow.
So the first thing first, you need to get, oh, you say, oh, I want to go into exporting Gary, get your specification right. What specification? Is it Jebu Gary? Is it Gary Oyo? Is it Gary Egba? Is it Delta Gary? If it's Delta, is it Urobo or Wari?
Oh.
These are what we call specification because there is a reason why these commodities are being tagged and given names. Gary Jebu slaps very badly. Gary Oyo slaps in its own level. So what amount of cocoa or seed is there? Is it the one that is smooth and is almost seamless? Or these are all the things you need to get correctly. If it's corn, is it yellow corn? Is it white corn? Is it for animal consumption or human consumption? How many broken particles? The moisture content of your corn, of your soya. It goes on and on like that. And that's why we always say, no knowledge is wasted. If you want to go into commodity export, get the basic knowledge.
Very important. I think it's important that if you want to deal with anything, you should have enough knowledge in that field. Otherwise, you will be shortchanged. I also want to find out. So this specification or can also be called the requirement, all right?
Yes.
Which is exactly what your client wants.
Yes.
So it's not just if you I want Gary, like, okay, this is the kind of Gary we want. This is how we want it to, so that you are giving exactly what the supplier wants, not just.
If you attend the class for commodity export at our academy, O.O.K Agribusiness Academy, one of the things you'll be taught, I think, is on your first class, is that letter of intent. It's very important.
Letter of intent.
LOI. Because this is where everything you need to know about what your client intends to buy from you is written. So the specification, the mode of payment, expected port of delivery, everything will be stated in letter of intent, LOI. So it is important that you get this from your client and then go through it and you getting it right. That is the first step to take when it comes to commodity export.
Awesome.
Now, when you've gotten this right, your specification, the next thing you need to work on is making sure that your packaging and your processing is done correctly in order for you to meet up with your specification. So you see, it's step by step. This is why I say to people that farming is not a joke. It's a serious business.
I was talking on our radio yesterday, and then I said the Agbe thing is almost looking like you want to yap somebody. I say you are Agbe. Like, that's not the kind of Agbe that we are.
Pull back to say, are you a farmer? No, with my full chest, I am a farmer. So this is the first step you need to look into
the specification, and then
processing and packaging.
Your processing and packaging.
Yes. Once you're done with your processing and packaging, I remember when I started newly, 2006, I used to hate documentation. What now?
I still don't like it.
I don't
like that.
If you want to do commodity export, you need to just learn your documentation, or better still, get a very good freight forwarder.
Okay.
Who knows his or her onions around commodity export, and you can pay for them to help with your documentation. But believe me, it makes your life easier. It makes you grow, your business grow. If you on your own knows what you are doing in terms of documentation. Because 9.999999% is still not 10%. So when it comes to documentation in commodity export, accuracy,
you need to get it right.
You need to get it right. You don't get it right, you're going to lose a lot of money if you don't lose your name and your reputation and your business in the process. So documentation. And how do you achieve this? Learn. I mean, you can reach out to us.
Yeah.
OK Agribusiness Academy is there for you.
And you should register for that.
Or look for an agri extension if you feel that double OK is not who you want to deal with.
Okay.
But learn, get a very good freight forwarder who knows his or her onions. It's not, don't come and say it's OK that say I should get a freight forwarder. I now picked one Musa at the gate of Tin Can. No, registered freight forwarders that has history and experience in commodity export.
Awesome.
Yeah. And the next things the next thing you need to look into, I'll come to how the risk that are in all of this, but we need to itemize them, and identify them. Is you must have access to the destination you are going, your goods are going.
Okay, tell me.
Because this is life, I can't go deep in this. Okay. If you do not have access to the destination you're exporting your goods, make sure you have a trustworthy person in that country that can be your eye. Thank God for technology. I mean, they can do a video call once the package comes and all. But still, it helps if you have
somebody
access or you have access.
Okay.
Especially if you're just trying to build your business and the trust has not been established between you and your clients. It is important that if they say, we did not get 20 metric tons, or we got 15 metric tons, you just have to look for money for tickets. You carry your passport. Let us go. What has happened? But in a situation whereby you do not have access, then I advise people that does that to deal with people that have a business partner on ground. So your business partner will be responsible for the confirmation of goods that has been exported.
Awesome.
So it doesn't affect your own payment and all. The last but not the least is know the government policies, both locally in Nigeria.
Where you're exporting from and where you're exporting to. Very important.
When we start the risk in this one, this one has taken me to where I did not know before. As they say now. You don't carry me go where I don't know before. Government policy has taken me to where I did not know before. And how do they say in law? Ignorance is not what? It's not an excuse.
It's not an excuse.
It's not an excuse. So I did not know. It's not, especially in this day of that information is everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Google is your friend. So I did not know. I didn't get it. It's not an excuse. So know the government policies locally. And you know what? This will shock some of us Nigerians. When it comes to commodity export, NAFDAC is not smiling.
Yeah, I'm fully aware of that.
As in, if you think that, it's Nigeria, you just find yourself where you did not want to go. We have to take a quick short break. We'll be back in a bit.
Don't you get away. All right, welcome back. We just came back from a short break. You're listening to, you're watching O.O.K.
You're a radio person.
We've been talking about risk involved in commodity export. But before then, we have itemized the key factors that you need to consider if you're going to export anything out of your country to another country. So it's not just Nigeria to another country. If you're watching us from anywhere in the world, these are standards that you must follow through if you want to deal in commodity exports. So that, you don't get to be involved in stories that touch the heart, particularly because you have involved or invested a lot of money into doing that business. So number one we mentioned was to get the specifications rightly. You want to find out what exactly is the demand. What is the demand? What do they want from me? How do they want it? And of course, we discussed about, charcoal, for instance, that there are about almost 4 of them. Different types. The one you use for shisha, the one for cooking, the one for barbecue. They're just different. So charcoal is not charcoal. Charcoal is what kind of charcoal am I exporting? So you need to find out from your client and say exactly what do you want. And the letter of intent is important, which should be a summary of everything that that contract is about. So this is what we want. This is the quantity we want it. This is when we want it. This is the mode of payment. Very, very key before you do anything. And then secondly, we mentioned that it's important that you have access to the destination. Is either is a country where you can travel to, perhaps there is any issue, you can move immediately. Not a country that you don't have visa to, and then you're exporting, and then there is story on your
And you don't have hope of getting visa to.
oh, and then so you don't want to start crying at the last minute. So it's important that you have access, or you have somebody on ground who can help you monitor and supervise when there is delivery of those items. So you are sure that it's exactly what we exported that our clients are getting. So very, very key. And then the third one we mentioned was the packaging and processing. Have we got
with the packaging and processing? Of course, even here it's branding now. How do people say you have to package yourself?
Package yourself.
But beyond that, there are recommendations that each government has for how you package a particular commodity. So that is also very important. And how it is processed, there has to be traceability. Honestly, you want to go into agribusiness, you need to speak with us at O.O.K Agribusiness Academy. I love that name, O.O.K. English people, they have the way they make their English language. You want to speak
Don't mind them. I still prefer my language though.
Omolara, I'm on the O.O.K website, and at first I like, you say waiting. So you need to speak to us at O.O.K because we are just your one-stop solution shop, believe me. Point of delivery, we've spoken about that. Now we've spoken about what you need to. This is like your to-do list, the first 6 or 7 point of
the
action.
boxes you need to tick.
The boxes you need to tick. Now let us talk about the risk. And the good thing about Awake is that the other programs you guys does do is good, but I'm just gonna sing my praise a little bit. I'm not only talking from learning, no, I'm talking from experience.
Again.
What? When you hear say person don't learn in a hard way in this commodity business, we have learned in a hard way. And when I say learn in a hard way, we have made money and we have lost money. So if you're not careful with commodity export, the way it is easy to make money is the same way it is easy
to
lose money. And that's the truth. That is the truth. So, but thank goodness you have us now, so you don't have to go through that pain. You don't have to make that same error. Now, what is the risk in you not getting your specifications right? Depending on the sort of country and the contract you have signed, the client has the right not to pay you, and they have the right to charge you for damages.
Wow.
Because this thing is a complete value chain.
Okay.
So in the past, we had a company that produces dairy from soya, like soya milk and all of that. And they have signed up contract to supply supermarkets and schools soya milk at so quantity at so time.
Wow.
So when we fail to deliver what we have signed to,
it broke their trust with their own clients.
And it broke the chain. So they can't sell, they can't pay salary, So
it's beyond just not delivering the job. You're messing up
their structure, their business, and then you mess up the supermarket structure and businesses. So who pays for all of these damages?
That's a lot.
It is a lot. So you are held responsible for it. That's why I say to people that when people say, what do you do? Is it not just you don't just export food? Hello, So it is very, very important that you get your specifications right. Otherwise, not only are you going to lose money, you may end up in serious debt, and we don't want that. The next one, which is documentation, it is in the same family with specification. Your goods can be held on arrival for months. And not only will you start paying demurrage, you still face the wahala from your clients that you didn't deliver on time if your documentation is not
Correct.
correct or in order.
Mm.
It could either be held back here in Nigeria or be held at the point of delivery.
Delivery.
In short, it is worse if it's held at the point of delivery because you had already paid for it.
Mm.
Is worse test if it's held at the point of delivery than it is worse if it's held here in Nigeria. So documentation is not something you want to play with. It's not something you want to play with. Documentation from your CAC paper to the last certificate of origin and all of that, all the documentations you need from NAFDAC, you need from Nigerian customs, from your bank, from the port, from the shipping line and all of that. Make sure that you get them right. Now, the one that is similar to it, especially if what you are exporting is a finished product,
Okay.
the processing and the packaging is the cocoa. Because if you get your specification right, you got your documentation right, and the packaging is wrong to the last lettering on the label,
Okay.
it is very, very important because if your packaging is wrong and your processing is not done properly, the entire product can
So
be
waste.
rejected.
Mm.
So these are the risks that is. They are like
Wow.
5 and 6 with commodity export.
Mm.
This risk you cannot wish them away.
Okay.
The Oga Patapata of, well, that I say as the Oga Patapata is government policy.
Okay.
We have lost in the past over 200 million naira because of government policy before.
Wow. That's a lot.
That's why it is important that if you are going into, you are moving commodity to any country, do your homework well, read, get a good lawyer, get a good freight forwarder that understands the country, their policy, and how things are done there.
Mm.
So it's not something, that's why you see a lot of people that rushes into this sector, they rush out. But the problem is when they're rushing in, they are doing big boy. I have money, I'm investing 500 million. When they are going out, they're always crying.
Mm.
Why? Because they've rushed in and they take the industry for granted, thinking, is it not just to package food and sell it? No, it's a big deal. That's why I say to you, someone who is into commodity export or food processing is as important as a surgeon that is operating on brain and heart in the
Okay.
in the theater.
I like that.
That's the
Analogy.
truth. Because to even start with, both the surgeon and the patient, what they need is good food in their life.
Mm.
So this is an important business. This is a big deal. I mean, in my 2 decades in this industry, I've seen people being made big time into billionaires in this industry, and I've seen people ended up with heart attack, stroke,
Wow.
because they ran into debt they know that they cannot survive from. So it is important that we put all of this risk into consideration. With Nigeria, we thank God for technology. Things are getting um, easier. I remember those days that you'd have to by yourself go to what is that place in Apapa Way, NAFDAC office to go and get certificates of origin and some depending on what you're exporting, then you still need some sort of certificate from forestry if it's charcoal. That's this charcoal that the wood that they
Notice.
process has been replanted. I mean, there is so much that
Mm.
is involved in it. If you are not exporting firewood, we export firewood.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, to other African countries. They don't have firewood. This is why I say to people that look, I am actually living my dream. I don't see any other big industry that I would rather be in.
Mm.
We export firewood, igidano, to other African countries.
When they have woods there.
Not as much as we do. You look at even
Nigeria is
northern
blessed.
Nigeria. How many forests is in northern Nigeria where they can get firewood from? We export firewood. So there is practically nothing that comes out of the earth in Nigeria that is not sellable or exportable. So it is very much important that you understand government policy pertaining to the product that you want to export. Otherwise, you'd also run the risk of losing money and maybe losing your business.
Amazing. I'm sure you've learned a lot today. Some of the things we've been able to share with you about exportation of commodity and the risk involved. It's important that anything you want to do, I will always recommend, knowledge is key, knowledge is power. You're still listening to us on Awake with OK on
Okay,
OK
TV, not
TV.
radio. Okay, now I'm sure that, like Charles said, we've given you a lot of useful information. And before we leave you today, we will not be doing you, will not be completing the service given to you if we do not tell you about all the goodies that we have in house
Yeah,
at O.O.K
awesome.
Farms. So I'm going to start with the products that we rendered, the services we render.
Yeah.
We are into contract farming.
Yes.
Do you want to?
You want to be a farmer, you don't want to be in the farm, we can help you do it. So
Yes.
it's simple. You have some money you want to invest into farming. Have a friend who had lived all his life, doing in the banking sector. He just moved into agriculture and he's forever grateful for it. So you want to do something like that. We can help you with the farming. Tell us what you want to farm. We'll get you the land. We'll help you plant. We help you monitor. We help you harvest. Even if at the point of sales, you can also bring us in. So everything you want to do in agriculture, you can just sit back in your house, and claim to be a farmer.
Yes. We actually have quite a number of clients in the abroad.
Okay.
Okay, so I have to stop this slang in the abroad.
I think you should.
Yeah, that are overseas.
I'll
I
help
need to
you.
be too. We have some clients that are overseas. Yeah, we have some clients in the abroad that we're actually cultivating on their behalf. And one of them, she says, "This is farmer." She will now put her name. That cracks me out all the time. And I'm like, "How are you a farmer?" She said, "My farm is in fashion." I said, "Oh well." So we don't necessarily have to get to the farm or worry yourself about that. We take charge of that.
Yeah.
And also, if you do not, have a farmland, we sell and we lease out farmland.
Farmland.
Hassle free farmland, that documentation, everything is being and will be taken care of by
Awesome.
moi. Okay, so you're in Nigerian or you are in West Africa actually, and you need farm inputs and farm equipment.
Yeah.
Hello, we're here to solve that problem for you, and agrochemicals as well.
Yeah.
If we do not have, we'll know the right company to point you in their direction. Or you want your fertilizers, NPK 2020, 1515, urea, whichever one, just reach out to us for all your farm input and equipment.
Yeah.
And right now, we're still aggregating. We're aggregating cassava tubes or tubers. Help me with English. Is it cassava tubes now or cassava tubers?
Tubers.
Thank you. Cassava tubers. You know, I'm just a farmer. We are still aggregating cassava tubers and cassava chips. So if you have cassava tubers and cassava chips, especially MTE 419 variant, I have to put the MTE because when I say 419 variant, people call me and say, which one is cassava
MC
419?
419 variant.
Yes, MTE 419. We're still aggregating cassava tubers and cassava chips. We're aggregating corn and soya as well. So reach out to us if you have any of this that you want to sell. And if you like to be supplied as well, you can also reach out to us. The only thing we're not supplying or we're not selling right now is cassava. So you want to buy soya, you want to buy corn for your feed meal or any other purposes, please do reach out to us at Double OK Farms. I like that. Double OK Farms. Right. And also, do not forget, if you are in agribusiness, join our cooperative.
Yeah.
It's for everybody. Now they say our time is soon up. Join our cooperative. You want to learn anything about agriculture or agribusiness, sign up for any of our courses that you feel suits you. Once you've made up your mind if you want to go into animal husbandry, farming, commodity processing, go on our website www.ookgroup.ng. Click on academy or cooperative, whatever you fancy, and all the information you need are there for you on our website. A quick one before you go. You're looking for soft landing. soft life. You want to earn side also. This
Yeah.
is for you.
Yeah, yeah. If you would love to do business with honey, this is OK Farms Organic Honey, pure 100% organic. You want to do this, you want to sell for OK, or you want us to brand for you. So we can literally have years, all right? So we can have Josh's Organic honey or Lumini Organic honey, so whatever. So we just brand it in your name, package it for you, and then you can sell. So you can pride in the fact that you have your product and say, you know what, have you seen my Charles Alade's organic honey? So we can do that for you. And I think it's something you should look into.
Same goes for our organic shea butter, double filtered. Same goes for our Gary.
Yeah.
We have Egba and Oyo Gary.
Oyo Gary.
And also for O.O.K, locally grown and processed rice.
Awesome.
So, I told you earlier that Double OK Farms is just your one-stop station when you think of agribusiness. You want to go into agricultural sector, reach out to us on Double OK Farms. And we have our platform, O.O.K Farms TV and radio, where we also bring you information to empower you, to get you ready for all the challenges and all the goodies that you would encounter in the world of agriculture. So if you haven't, please follow us on YouTube, O.O.K Farms. On YouTube. Subscribe, like, and share. And for the TV and radio, I think on all social media platform, we are what again? O.O.K Farms Radio TV. On all social media platform. Please share, like, and subscribe. Also, we are on Android. O.O.K Farms on Android. And for those of you that are on iOS, please find us on Garden Radio. Radio Garden.
We're on Radio Garden. Yeah, you can find us on Radio Garden.
On Radio Garden on iOS if you are using iPhone. And for those of us that are on Android, please, we are on Play Store. So I really hope that you have been able to learn one or two things on today's program. Do not forget, every Wednesday, 11 a.m., we are here on Awake with O.O.K Farms to enlighten you on all that you need to look into when you are making that bold decision in your businesses, if you're already in the sector or while you take the decision to go into agribusiness. And if you look on our program schedule, every Monday is what's it again?
Farmers
Morning Cafe, which is a talk show every Monday, 11 a.m. And on Tuesday, we have the Farmers Guard. We give you tips to guard yourself, against bankruptcy, against bad loan, against anything negative, That's where we give you the information to guard yourself. And it's also 11 a.m. on Tuesday with Sakadeli with the sweet, sonorous voice and pretty face and brain. So you don't want to miss that. And also on Wednesdays, Awake, like I said. On Thursday, we bring it back home on O.O.K Farms TV. It is local. I hope that one of these days they will have me as a guest. Let me come and show you how much Yoruba I speak. And on Friday, Agbeloco is also 11 a.m. Friday 11 a.m. is also Trend O'Clock, where we talk about what is trending in the agricultural world, both in Nigeria and all over the globe. Once again, thank you so much for joining today. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. My name is Omolara Svensson.
And I'm Charles Alade.
Remember, agriculture, our wealth.